In the wake of James Gunn's Superman, a war of narratives is being waged. The studio, along with its staunchest online allies, wants you to believe you've witnessed a box office triumph. They celebrate every minor milestone and praise its domestic grit. But a closer look at the cold, hard numbers reveals a story they don't want you to hear. This isn't a story of success. It's a story of staggering costs, desperate spin, and the potential failure of a universe before it even truly begins. Let's talk about the money. The film has grossed around $579 million worldwide. The studio wants you to see that number in a vacuum. What they try to obscure is the black hole of spending it took to get there. A $225 million production budget swallowed by another $150 to $200 million in global marketing. We are talking about a $400 million bet. There's an undeniable law of Hollywood physics. A film needs to make at least 2.5 times its production budget to turn a real profit. For Superman, that's a target north of $700 million. The film will not get there. Period. When confronted with this reality, James Gunn himself took to social media to lash out, calling the math absolutely false in an attempt to muddy the waters. But no amount of defensive tweeting can change the fundamental truth of industry accounting. Under any credible metric, this film is a financial disappointment. But here is the most inconvenient truth, the one the new regime at DC wants everyone to forget. Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. In 2013, that film made $670 million. Adjusted for today's inflation, that's a colossal $920 million. Let that sink in. While the PR machine celebrates Gunn's film passing Snyder's raw domestic number, it's a statistical lie by omission. Inflation adjusted, Man of Steel still dominates on the home front. And internationally, it's not even a contest. Gunn's $214 million overseas haul is dwarfed by Snyder's $379 million. To call Gunn's film a success while actively memory-holing the performance of Man of Steel isn't just inconsistent, it's intellectually dishonest. And it gets worse. That shiny $579 million gross, that isn't the studio's money. After theaters take their mandated 50% cut, the studio is left with roughly $289 million in revenue, over $100 million in the red before a single Blu-ray is sold. And the talk of streaming and merchandise saving the day, that's a fantasy spun for investors. For a franchise launcher, the theatrical run is the only verdict that matters. It's the metric of cultural relevance. And on that front, Superman has failed to launch. This brings us to the damage control playbook. Warner Brothers is now desperately comparing Superman to Batman Begins, a disingenuous talking point that ignores the fact that Batman Begins was launching a standalone trilogy, not anchoring an entire interconnected universe. Publicly, CEO Doslov performs for the cameras, praising the numbers. But privately, sources say the mood is one of profound disappointment. Gunn's constant social media engagement is not the behavior of a confident creator. It's the textbook action of a director defending a project he knows is bleeding out. He's not celebrating a victory. He's trying to control a narrative that has already escaped him. So what is the final verdict on James Gunn's Superman? Don't listen to the spin. Don't fall for the cooked books and the curated talking points. The domestic performance is a smokescreen for a global underperformance. This film was meant to be the Man of Steel, the rock upon which a new DC universe would be built. Instead, it's a costly misfire, a hero who barely broke even and failed to inspire the global audience he so desperately needed. This wasn't the bedrock for a new universe. It was a tremor, signaling that the entire foundation of Gunn's DCU may be built on dangerously unstable ground.